Hola Mis Amores, it's Nori, your favorite self-trust coach. Today I want to talk to you about how to protect yourself from burnout. This is something that I'm seeing a lot with my clients, and I think it's a product of just our environment right now. People working from home, being around their family in the house, not having enough time for themselves, or feeling like they have to be on all the time for work. And because of that, we are finding ourselves just being really, really tired. And when you are experiencing burnout, at first you don't realize it's burnout because it moves so slowly and it builds on itself over time. And then suddenly you begin to notice how fatigued you are. Your body begins to send you the signals that something is not quite okay. And you have a difficult time shifting out of that behavior because you're so used to being on. You're so used to having to respond to everybody all the time. And there are all the social media platforms, and then there are the people at work, and there are your family, and there are your friends. So it creates this environment where you have a difficult time just taking time for yourself, taking time to quiet all those external voices and give yourself room to see what's going on with you. And when we don't take that time, we put ourselves in a position where we find ourselves exhausted, we find ourselves drained, we find ourselves really struggling to center ourselves, and we don't know why. And that's usually when we're officially burnt out. It's like something doesn't feel right here. And excuse me, that translates into sometimes illness, sometimes depression, sometimes anxiety. There are all these things that begin to happen in your body because it doesn't feel okay. My bad, y'all. Like this pregnancy got me burping like crazy. It doesn't feel okay. So as a result of that, we have a difficult time coming back to center. So it's important that you have a strategy to help you with burnout because it can really sneak up on you if you're not paying attention. Okay. So today, I want to share with you how do I do that? How do my clients do this? Especially because they're high achieving women, so they feel like they constantly have to be doing. They feel like they constantly have to be putting out something to feel productive. They feel like they constantly have to be busy, and when you're feeling like that, that's how you lead yourself to burnout. Okay, so how do we step outside of this? The number one strategy to help you protect yourself from burnout is resting. And I know it sounds really simple, but it's not easy because many of us have not really spent the time to explore what does rest look like for us. I want you to think about the last time that you have been conscious about taking time to rest and paying attention to what does rest feel like to you. A lot of my clients, when they start working with me, this is the first time they begin to pay attention to that. And that's why it's so important because when you rest your body, when you rest your spirit, when you rest your heart from being on all the time, you are able to see things much more clearly. And when you can see things more clearly, you are able to make decisions that are aligned with your values without feeling guilt or without feeling shame. And when you are not operating from the space, you find yourself questioning what you're doing all the time. A big part of trusting yourself is to be able to see how you show up in spaces. And when you are not aware of how you're moving in this space, you become a product of that space, right? You just let the space do whatever it wants with you. But instead, when you begin to pay attention to what's going on, you lead how you operate in that space. So it's very important that you are taking that time to rest and to recharge because that's what gives you your fuel. That's what gives you an opportunity to see, I am not okay right now. There are some things here that are overworking me. My body doesn't feel okay. My spirit doesn't feel okay. And I have to take some time for me. All right. And I know this can be really challenging because many of us don't take the time to do this. We feel like it's a waste of time, especially if you're a high achiever like my clients. You feel like it's a waste of time. You feel like you could be doing something else. You feel weird because you're just not used to it. So it feels uncomfortable to take time to do the things that you enjoy. Some of you may feel guilty because you feel like you're wasting time. You may also feel some shame around that, right? Because you're not doing when you feel like you need to constantly be doing. And this is part of you learning to protect yourself from burnout, because all of those thoughts that may be coming to your mind when you're resting, they are a byproduct of your inner critic. And that's something that you have to nurture, right? You have to teach yourself that rest is your birthright. You don't have to earn rest. You deserve rest. You get to rest, and you get to do it as much as you need to. So I want to encourage you to take some time to rest, to dance with rest, and to discover what rest looks like to you. It may take a little bit to get there, but that's okay. And when you know it, practice it. It may be watching your favorite Netflix show. It may be um, dancing in your house. It may be sleeping. It may be reading. It may be playing tennis. There are so many ways that we can recharge our bodies and our soul. And once you know what that looks like for you, do more of it, a lot more of it, and watch how your life transforms. All right. If you need help with this, I encourage you to let me know, drop a comment below, and share with me what's your biggest challenge with rest, because I want to see you thrive. And in order for that to happen, you gotta be in a good place, boo. You gotta put yourself in a space where you see things clearly and you feel good about your life and you're not burning yourself out, because there's only one of you and the world needs it. All right? Have an amazing rest of your day, and I will talk to you soon. Hasta luego.